All right, the last Hunger Games movie
Yeah.
made about the original trilogy, so to speak.
Mockingjay Part 2.
Mockingjay Part 2, the movie that they controversially decided to make, split the last book into two.
I've finally seen this movie for the first time.
Yep, you have
And
the whole story now.
I've basically lost faith in anything good happening ever again. This is awful. This sucks.
This movie?
It was a nightmare. It's
Really?
a nightmare of a film. It was
Okay.
horrific
Okay.
and awful. I feel
We'll
all
get
the
into it.
things we talked about, it feels like just being stabbed through the neck. All of it. Dude,
You were
this
going
is rough.
You were going to get a ton of
This
haters.
was rough.
You're going to get
In my
a
defense,
ton.
because
Because
this is
a
the
lot
first
of-
time I've seen the film. I have not talked about the film since seeing it until right now.
It's true. So you're
This is the first
processing
time.
your
So,
grief.
yeah, I have grief.
Yes.
And now I'm mobilizing an intense defense of myself.
Hey,
and my
look,
positions.
that's fine. That's fine. It's just you gotta keep in mind that a lot of this story is just what happens in the book.
It's true.
So criticize at your own peril is all I'm saying. Please do if you don't like it, but just know this is a beloved franchise.
It is.
This is beloved,
It
but
is.
I'm willing to go to battle with you, even if I may disagree.
It was, dude. It was rough.
I
It
did
was
not know you were
rough
gonna
getting
hate.
into
You're gonna
this.
hate this movie.
It's not that I hated the movie. It's more. It would have been nice to know some of the things that happened in this film.
Oh, you needed
That
you needed a
would've
little
been
bit of a
nice.
pre-gaming? You needed to, this is a movie that you needed a briefing
I needed
beforehand?
some guardrails in my
Really?
discussions.
Okay.
It was.
Yeah, no,
we
a lot,
can get into it. We can discuss it.
a lot happened, yeah.
Dude, it was rough.
Okay, so the end of the last movie, they had just been attacked by the Capitol,
Yep.
and they had fended off an attack. PETA had been rescued by Liam Hemsworth,
Yes.
the more famous Hemsworth brother, for the record, more successful, vastly so.
That feels dubious.
He had been rescued, and he had been essentially allowed to be rescued,
Yeah.
so that he could kill Katniss. Did not work. Did not work. So
Yes.
that's an L for Snow. But Katniss does get pretty badly hurt. Her neck's pretty beat up. So in the next movie, she can't talk. She has a neck brace on and everything.
Yeah. So the film opens with her like going through speech therapy, trying to get her ability to talk back. They're recovering. PETA, he's been brainwashed. He's captured by, District 13. They're trying to rehabilitate him, but it's taking some time. That's kind of where we open. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good way to open the film. If it weren't for the part 1 and part 2, you could conceivably believe, oh, this is the start of a new book.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, they hadn't artificially done that.
It works better than I think something like Harry Potter, The Deathly Hallows.
Oh.
Spoilers
Haven't
for
seen
a
it.
movie that's like a decade old, but they they kill a minor character, and that's where they split it. So they elevate this minor character's death to the emotional climax of a film.
Yeah.
I don't think that works super well, but the revelation that Pete has been brainwashed, he might not be salvageable. I think that is something you can elevate to the climax of a film, and I think picking up here, it's a nice natural place to begin.
Yeah, because it is a major plot point in the
Yes.
book, and it's pivotal for Katniss and his relationship.
And I guess it's relevant for the story. You feel like that is the plot thread that they're pursuing in this one. In Deathly Hallows, they don't bring up the character again.
Yeah.
In Deathly Hallows Part 2, because the story wasn't written that way.
Well, and it feels somewhat like a climax because you have the Capitol and the rebellion making chess moves.
Yeah.
And this is like a huge chess move that shows desperation
Yes.
on Snow's part.
Giving up a prisoner in the hopes that they will indirectly kill Katniss. It's not a good plan. It
Yeah.
reeks of desperation.
Well, and on the greater geopolitical scale, the rebellion is now stopped being defensive,
Yeah.
and now they're going on the offensive. And that's what this whole next movie's about.
Yeah.
Is that they're they're taking ground from this point forward.
Yeah.
And so it's a good natural pivot point, a lull in the fighting, from our perspective as the audience, as they look to take the capital. But yeah, I mean, Prim talks to PETA, and PETA, she has to break the news to him that the bakery didn't survive.
Yeah.
Which,
Well, and that his entire family's dead. Which
but she doesn't say that. Like he says that he heard about District, or she breaks the news to him about District 12, and she conveys all of that in the line that the bakery didn't survive. And he kind of just understands what that means. But then as soon as it goes to Katniss, he just starts laying into her. She's a mutt. You can't trust her. It's her fault. Everything's her fault.
Yeah.
And so that has an effect on Katniss, obviously. And she then decides that she needs to kill Snow. Snow needs to die.
Yeah.
So she goes to Coin and Plutarch, and she says, send me to the capital. I want to kill Snow. And they're like, we can't until we take District 2. And so then after she, recovers a little bit, she gets sent to District 2.
Yeah.
And there she sees a... Wait, is it District 2 or District 12? I took these notes a long time ago.
No, it'd be 2. Because
It's
12
2.
is the one that's gone. Right. They firebombed 12 into non-existence.
Oh, yeah. But, okay, yes. Because I'm thinking of the scene in the house between Gale and Katniss.
Yeah.
This is one on the hovercraft. This is one of the best scenes of the movie.
No.
So
it's not. It's awful.
Katniss tells
Words
Gale,
cannot describe
they're on their
how sick I felt.
This is like Anakin and Padme levels,
It was
except for
awful.
even worse.
I was sick to my stomach intensely.
So Katniss tells Gale on the way to District 2, hey, don't worry, you don't need to be jealous of PETA anymore. And he said, I'm going to quote this in full, and I am so sorry. Vomit if you need to. Gale responds, no, I don't stand a chance if he doesn't get better. You'll never let him go. Katniss then makes a brilliant move and kisses him. Gale asks her what's going on in her head, and Katniss says, I don't know. And he says, it's like kissing someone who's drunk doesn't count. Which, first of all, how many drunk people is Gale kissing? And also, let's set aside, he's the one who made the claim that she's drunk. So I am not going, the next sentence is not based on her being drunk. She is not drunk. She is in complete control of her faculties and her brain and everything.
She's just emotionally distraught.
So she's emotionally distraught. So I'm just going to say, take the win, Gale. Like, her old boyfriend is slipping away from the picture. PETA has been useless his entire life. Literally his entire life. This is made as a baker, you would assume that he's good, but the major pivot point between him and Katniss is him burning bread. Now, he did it intentionally, but still, I've never seen him make a good loaf of bread. So he could be a bad baker, right? And also, this is the second time he has complained about getting a kiss from the love of his life.
I get it.
This is the second time.
No, I think it makes sense.
But from his perspective?
Yeah, from Gale's perspective. Oh, there's this woman that I love. She's head over heels for another guy. She's using me as a not using, that's too manipulative of a term. She's close to me in a different way. There's ways that I can never relate to her, and I will never be as good as this person who now is becoming idealized because he's close to being gone forever. That makes total sense. For me, it's less the emotional aspects of it, and it's what Gale proposes immediately after.
Oh, the safe haven plan?
The double tap. The double tap plan.
The double tap.
Which he proposes right after this. Horrifying, first off. I have very strong opinions.
So, to be clear, you're talking about you launch an attack.
Yes.
And then as the capital forces go in to save the wounded, you launch another attack.
Yes. On
devastating.
The first responders to the attack.
Yes.
For the record.
Bit of foreshadowing.
For the record, that is a war crime.
Oh,
It's a
100%.
big no-go. You do
Yeah.
that, in the former Yugoslavia, you do that in the Middle East.
It's a war crime.
It's a war crime. You're not supposed to do it.
No.
Because first responders, the Red Cross, neutral, saving the wounded, it's not something that you should be utilizing as an opportunity to inflict further casualties. It's something reprehensible. Oh man, as soon as he proposed it, I'm like, oh no. First off, we've never seen an indication that he's likely to propose something like that. So far, he has
We haven't really seen him in a military capacity, though, making decisions.
no. He's resisted the capital. He's been impetuous. He's gone in without plans. He worked as a special op to get PETA out, which was a huge win. This is the first time we've seen him propose a strategy. And he's not going in saying, hey, what if we did this innovative approach? He's like, what if we did war crimes? What if we killed innocent people and blew them up?
Now, to be fair, this is post bombing of District 12.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
I mean, it's still abhorrent, obviously. But and he, to be fair, he did just get kissed by the love of his life. So devastating moment.
No.
The person you have always wanted to connect with.
Uh-huh.
It's like Katniss can never be good enough for Gale. It's so we have talked about how Katniss and PETA trauma bonded heavy.
Yes.
Like, there's no other possible explanation for why she fell this hard for PETA other than trauma. He's objectively horrible.
I would agree with that. There's not a lot that PETA does in the stories where it's like, oh yeah, he displays great loyalty. He's good for the cameras. He's good at manipulating the audience. He doesn't do anything in the games.
He has nothing. He actively makes Katniss's life harder
all the time.
It's almost like his dependence on her is what makes him attractive.
And going into this, I was very supportive of Gale. Very supportive.
I'm still supportive of Gale.
I'm a lot less supportive of Gale now that he's Mr. War Crimes.
Okay, what do you think about Dresden? Huh? What about Dresden? Just civilians.
Bad?
Just tons of civilians.
Shouldn't have happened.
So you think...
You ever read Slaughterhouse 5?
No.
You should read
Sounds
Slaughterhouse
like a great video
5.
game, though.
Dear gosh. You should read Slaughterhouse 5. It's all about the bombing of Dresden.
No, yes.
Great work.
Absolutely.
One of the best
horrific.
books in American literature.
Absolutely horrific. But with that in mind, obviously this caused a firestorm like 2 years ago, and I'm not going to get into that. But who do you think was the chief villain of the Second World War?
Okay.
Who do you think was
World War II is unambiguously of all modern conflicts. It's the most unambiguously good versus evil.
No, but
unambiguously.
Hold on. We're adding ambiguity here because they firebombed Dresden, just a civilian target, an industrial target, but a civilian target.
Shouldn't have happened.
It
was wrong.
Right. But
mass killing of civilians in wartime.
We still clearly
reprehensible. Shouldn't happen.
And you might be thinking that I'm trying to say that the rebellion is still more virtuous than the capital. In this situation, PETA is Hitler. I'm not even talking about the capital.
Okay. I'm terribly lost. I'm so confused. What are you talking about?
Look. I am trying to force an analogy, and it is going to work. I'm going to make it work.
Not.
Round peg, square hole.
No.
It's going to happen.
Not at all. It's not going well.
It's going great for me.
PETA is not Hitler because he's
incompetent? Because he actively gets more people killed than Gale ever does?
No.
Because...
Well, maybe I can salvage this.
No.
I'm saying...
I agree. Gale is, by definition, he's a theoretical war criminal.
Going into this film, I was curious because I was strongly supportive of Gale, which is justified. All the evidence up to Mockingjay Part 2 paints Gale as the superior one. He's more consistent. He's more bold and courageous in his defiance of the capital.
Yeah.
He is more consistently there for her. He does not cause problems the way that Peeta does. He is competent. And at the end of Mockingjay Part 1, he's just saved Peeta from the Capitol. Incredibly successful special operatives mission.
Unequivocally the winner. He's the
Unequivocally.
clear winner between him and Peeta.
Every conceivable metric.
Yes,
And so
yes.
going into this film, I'm not aware that he's going to open the film with, you know what we should try?
To be fair, she kissed him.
War crimes. We should do war crimes.
She kissed him. He got a kiss.
No.
He got a kiss. That's devastating. He even said it.
Okay.
He's like, I got kissed by a drunk person.
Yeah, I'm
gonna
gonna
go commit war crimes.
No.
I'm gonna commit war crimes.
Okay, two things. Okay, I guess what I'm trying to say is I was very curious how
Yeah.
they were going to resolve this love triangle.
Well, because you knew that there was still a heated debate, and from
Yeah.
your perspective, Gale's the clear winner from
Right.
in the third
Yeah, so
film.
I'm going into it and I'm like, this is a clear answer.
Yeah,
This is not a debate, let alone a
unequivocally-
debate that should run to the current day.
right.
And I was bitterly disappointed. Bitterly.
He not only tries to commit.
I'm so
he-
ticked off,
he-
man.
he
Nothing
makes-
good
he-
is ever gonna happen again.
because
This is it.
at first, in within the first 20 minutes of the movie, he is a war criminal in theory. He's just wargaming,
And it's
right?
out of character.
Right, it's out of character.
It's not been something he's ever alluded to in the past. He's never
Well, but
displayed
here's the
a
thing.
willingness to
You can't-
destroy innocent lives.
You can't commit war crimes as effectively whenever you're on defense.
It's true.
He's been on the defense for the entire previous film, besides the
Yeah.
rescue mission.
Yeah.
And now that he's on the offensive, his true colors are flying. They are flying high. But then he moves on, and then he makes a plan that's a war crime.
He does.
Whenever they're trying to take the nut.
He seems surprised that it's innocents that have run into the fray, that it's first responders, that it's medical personnel. He seems really stunned after it happens at the end of the film,
Yeah.
which seems a bit naive to me. It's like, well, it's not going to be soldiers. It's going to be first responders.
Well, yeah, but
And-
maybe he was shocked that it was the rebellion's first responders.
Right.
It was the that you see. I mean, obviously the
Yeah.
Capitol Forces had some in there too, but
And he conceptualized the plan. He's not the one carrying it out. He seems horrified when they do carry it out in the manner that they do.
no, but what I'm saying
It's a
he
bummer.
they have that conversation,
So
and then
ticked.
they land in District 2, and he suggests a plan,
Yeah.
and it's like, we can't take the nut, so we need to seal them in,
Yeah.
and then that's what they do.
It's a good plan.
It is a good plan.
No war crimes.
But well, it was implied that it was a war crime because him and Katniss have a conversation as the bombing's happening.
Yeah.
And she's like, you seem just fine to take innocent lives. And he's like, well, innocent lives need to be taken in order to end this war, to save more innocent lives.
And Katniss comes out of that situation looking very bad because she is almost killed
Mhm.
by a spy or defector. And so her mass appeal, it doesn't work. It almost gets her killed. You do come away from that situation being like, oh, I see Gale's point.
Right,
You
right.
know? Oh,
And they left a tunnel open.
Yes.
So it wasn't he was
They left
advocating
a
he
method of escape.
was advocating to just seal the whole thing.
Yes.
It's like a tomb.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen. So no war crimes are actually committed
The
on Gale's part.
Going into
that's a
this,
dub.
I was intrigued to see how they were gonna fix the love triangle, and they did it in my least favorite way that they can possibly resolve a love triangle, which is by artificially tanking one member of it. Right? So it's like you're choosing between two alternatives. Which one is it going to be? And the writer just sabotages one of them so that there's a clear answer. At the end of this film, it's Peeta. He's the right answer because he hasn't done anything that bad, or he's done fewer things that are bad.
Well, at the end of the movie,
it's tough. It's not my favorite. You see
Yeah.
it in other things too, where it's like you have this really compelling love triangle, and rather than have the character choose and reveal something about the character, you sabotage one party.
like Luke and Leia are sisters. Or
Yeah,
brother and
where,
sister,
where it's
and-
like, oh, this doesn't reveal anything about the characters
Yeah.
now. Who would Leia have chosen?
We still don't know.
Because it's the choice is made for her
Yeah.
on behalf of the writers. The writers have sabotaged one element of the love triangle.
What about
so that there's only one choice left?
What about Twilight? What happens in Twilight that makes her choose?
See, I like Twilight's a lot better because she does choose. Freely.
She does choose.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I like
on their own merits.
Yeah, I like Edward. I like Edward better. She chooses Edward, and it's like there's nothing that's forced. So, spoilers for Twilight. If you haven't seen Twilight, she does like become a vampire, and so at that point, it's like, well, you're immortal. You know, you can be with the vampires who are also immortal, or you can choose this guy who's going to die someday. And so that's an element of it. But by the time that happens, she's already made her preference abundantly clear. And there's some like back and forth, will she, won't she? But she's made a choice. Like she's picked somebody, and she's sticking with it. In this one, it's like, well, she could go with Gale, she could go with PETA. We're gonna have Gale do war crimes.
Well,
war crimes. Now
didn't actually do them. He didn't do them. He didn't do them.
Shouldn't be suggesting war crimes.
He didn't. Well, but I'm just saying there is a distinction. You get prosecuted very differently.
That's true. It's true. Well, and he gets
at the end, she just kind of you get the sense that he's blamed for what happens.
Yes.
That she blames him for what happens.
Yes.
And
that's the end. That's not something their relationship is going to be able to overcome, and so they go their separate ways.
But do you get like I don't even really quite remember. How much of it was his actual fault? Did he suggest the plan and then Coin used it, and that's why he didn't give the go order?
Correct.
So that
was my interpretation. At least watching the film, you got the idea that he was surprised first that the plan was used in the context it was.
Yep.
And second that it killed Prim.
Yes. Spoilers.
If you're in this podcast for the fourth movie, it's on you at this point.
Look,
I'm just saying as soon as they suggested the plan, I'm like, this is how they're resolving the love triangle. Yep. They're gonna sabotage. They're going to sabotage.
Because Gale is so good. And more importantly,
he is.
PETA, it was so bad that Suzanne Collins had to make him want to commit war crimes in order for him to finally be outweighed by PETA.
Yeah, what makes PETA good at the end is the other member of the love triangle committing war crimes.
Yes.
Specifically
suggesting war crimes.
That kill Katniss's sister.
Suggesting it.
Yeah, but it's like that's what it takes. That's what it takes.
That's what it takes.
Right side, the love triangle at that point. That's how much PETA's in the can.
Look, man, justice for Gale. You know what I mean? Like I think he deserves a fair trial. And I think you put PETA on that stand. Oh, he's gonna fall apart like a little bakery boy.
What?
He's gonna be the Pillsbury Doughboy up there. It's not gonna work. It's just he's gonna fall apart.
I'm just saying, PETA spends most of the previous film, as an active, willing propaganda mouthpiece for the regime.
For murky reasons. It could be it's virtuous or it could be self-preservation. And you don't know.
And then in this film, let's not forget, he tries to kill Katniss. Yes. And then he tries to kill Katniss.
Yes.
And then he tries to kill Katniss.
Yes.
And he actually kills a member of their team.
Yes.
He straight up pushes a member of their team into the black tar.
Yes.
And that team member dies.
Yep.
When they are on mission, PETA directly murders a member of the team.
Now, is that his fault?
A little. Yeah. He's been propagandized and brainwashed.
But now we're talking about brainwashed.
He committed murder.
What kind of agency did he have? So let's talk about
murder.
Let's talk about. I remember this was another raging debate shortly after this movie came out. Captain America: Civil War. You had people who were on Team Cap. You had people who were Team Iron Man. The big question is Steve Rogers standing up for Bucky Barnes because he had been brainwashed by the Nazis for so long and killed Tony Stark's dad. Should he have stood by him, or should have been like, no, he committed those crimes. He did the bad thing.
Yeah.
He did the thing. Now, for me, I thought he was brainwashed, and so it wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
And he spends the rest of his, up until this point, he's been trying to redeem himself.
Yeah.
So I was Team
I
Cap.
just
We can have that conversation at another time. But for PETA, in this
Yeah.
case,
They just shouldn't have brought him.
well,
That's what it amounts
do you
to.
know why he was there? You remember why?
Well,
Do
yes.
you remember why?
It was bad reasoning.
But what's bad reasoning?
We're gonna bring him. He's gonna be helpful.
No, no,
We're
no, no,
gonna
no, no,
keep an
no.
eye
That's not
on
why he's
him.
there.
Why is he there?
He's there because Coin wants him there.
Why does Coin want him there?
To kill Katniss.
That's dumb.
No, it's not.
That's dumb.
It's because what it does is it betrays.
Okay,
it
but
shows,
the reasoning.
It's just like the Allies after as the Second World War was ending in Europe. The Soviets are closing in on
No.
Berlin, and the Allies are closing in shortly after. You have the Yalta Conference, I believe, where you had the three. You have Stalin, you have Roosevelt or Truman at that point. No, Roosevelt, I can't remember, and Churchill. And they're already talking about the future of Europe.
Yeah.
The war isn't over yet.
The
war is not over, and they're already looking towards the post-war lay of the land. You have Coin, who knows it's inevitable.
Yes.
Snow, there's a scene where Snow's talking about the defense of the Capitol. He kills the guy who's in charge of the war effort.
After handling it so poorly.
And yeah. And he's talking about how we're going to make them pay for every inch with blood.
Yeah.
Everyone knows this is inevitable. So Coin is already trying to consolidate power. And part of that is trying to ensure that Katniss dies.
Katniss, she's more beneficial as a potent symbol.
In times of rebellion, but in time of governance, she is a threat.
Yeah, these dissident types, they tend to be dissidents by personality. You know, they tend to be obnoxious to whatever regime is in power. Very rarely do you have somebody who's an outspoken critic of only the current regime.
Yes.
You know, you see that with some of the greatest, critics of the Cold War. I think of, Soviet dissidents like Alexander Solzhenitsyn and Andrei Sakharov. They were critics of the Soviet Union when it existed. They continued to be critics of the United States when they were there, and then the post-Soviet, countries,
Right.
Russia and the ensuing independent nations. They continued to be dissident types because that's who they were by nature. They weren't one and dones. Like, oh, if we just switch hats, everything will be fine. A lot of people in politics are like that. They're like, oh, if we can just switch to the other team.
Well, and that's where it's like
everything will be perfect.
Katniss is she wasn't even a revolutionary to begin with.
Yeah.
And then she becomes a revolutionary because of the crimes that Snow's committed.
Right.
And then she starts to look like a revolutionary type whenever she starts rebelling against the new government. That's what she does at the end. But that's only because they killed her sister.
Right.
That's the only reason why. And then after she does that, she goes off into the sunset with her beta boyfriend. And they go raise a family, and that's so awesome and sweet and great. And we love that so much.
I just think, look,
but I don't think it's a bad narrative choice by bringing PETA, sending PETA, in the hopes that Katniss dies. She's already in a dangerous situation.
Okay, but that's Coin's underlying motive.
Yes.
The reason that the team believes that
not
PETA
the team
is there,
leader. The team leader kind of spells it out for Katniss.
He has his suspicions, which he communicates. But the reason most people think that he's there, why? To keep an eye on him, so that he can be a propaganda tool.
Yeah.
So he's a propaganda tool. They're keeping an eye on him because they don't trust him to be elsewhere. They're trying to rehabilitate him, ostensibly. Yeah. Yes, Coin wants him to break in a moment of crisis and kill Katniss.
But that's solved by good soldiers follow orders.
Yes.
We don't have to understand the strategic importance of PETA being here. Our job is to protect him.
Yeah. And I think that it works. It's another example of PETA not having his own agency. He's here because somebody told him to.
Yeah.
Why was he in the Hunger Games? Because somebody told him to. In the second one, he volunteers. He takes it away from Haymitch. It's agency. It's why he's a lot more interesting in the second one to me than he is in the first one. When he's very passive, he's a victim the whole time. The climax of the first one is Katniss saving him from when he's held as hostage. And then Katniss has the plan to take the suicide berries together and Peeta is saved as a consequence of that. So Peeta, he's very passive in the first film. He's more active in the second. And then in both Mockingjays, he kind of just goes wherever he's told by whatever regime he's under.
Yeah.
Hey, say this in an interview. Hey, appear on camera at this time. Hey, sit in this rehab room. Hey, we're taking you out of this prison cell. Hey, go with them on this mission. He doesn't choose anything. He's very passive. He's very passive. And there's not a significant moment. I think what it boils down to for me, my disappointment, there's not a moment where Peeta has a great heroic triumph. He does not, by his own accord, do something significant that really turns the tide.
He saves Katniss from committing suicide.
Yes.
Doesn't turn the tide, but he saves her.
I wish there'd been something.
I agree.
I wish there'd been something.
Unless she intentionally tried to leave it unresolved.
Yeah.
So that it's like
he takes a moral stance against reviving the Hunger Games for the new regime, but it's like he never gives a speech. He never plays a pivotal role in a fight.
But Katniss steamrolls him.
I know.
And that scene
I don't like him.
It's
so tough for me.
I know.
I'm not a fan. He's so passive.
The star of that scene
needs to be an active character.
Yes. I agree.
Oh, it's rough. Gale, he was an active character. And he could suggest a war crime, which he shouldn't. And I feel like he's out of character. I feel like it's the writer nudging him towards the bad end of the love triangle, trying to even those scales. I guess it's in character. But it's like at
the end, at the climactic battle, it's Gale and Katniss.
It is.
It's not Peeta and Katniss. It's Gale and Katniss. And Katniss has this moment where she has to try to. Gale wants her to shoot him.
Yes.
And she won't do it.
He is sacrificial until the very end.
Yes.
And as you're watching this film, it's Peeta. He's on the team. He's killing members of the team. Gale is going in, offering to sacrifice himself.
There's a difference between in the Civil War case. There's a difference between you have a friend, you have a brother, you have somebody who was victimized for 70 years.
Yeah.
And you're fighting for his innocence, strictly as he was being used or whatever. It's another thing to think, you know what? I saw this guy in stressful situations for the past 2 or 3 years. He was kind of a beta. He was kind of a backseater. He just kind of let things happen. He actively got a lot of my friends killed, or directly or indirectly. He's someone I want to raise a family with. He's somebody that that's really attractive to me. It's attractive to me, and Gale just doesn't have that.
Gale, I agree with her not ending up with Gale. I will say,
I just think she shouldn't have ended up with anybody at that point.
Yeah. The development of Gale from virtuous, active resistance member to we should do war crimes, which I get that it's a development. And you're right. It happens after District 12 was bombed. So he's angry. He's vindictive. He's desperate. I get it. It's not justified. And I get Katniss not wanting to be with him after that. Totally understand it. Ending up with Peeta by default feels weird to me.
It's just a weird. It's
like, oh, he's still here. It's like he tried to kill you repeatedly,
and it seems out of character for Katniss. Like I want to circle back because we went to the Capitol briefly, but I want to circle back to the assassination attempt.
And
her speech to the survivor and to the people surrounding and to the cameras.
Yes,
that is a huge scene.
Yeah,
that is what propels the rebellion into the Capitol as they're about to mount this offensive.
Yeah.
It does wonders for her as a symbol of the rebellion, and it provides an opportunity for them to be like, ooh, is she dead? Is she not dead? We can use both of these angles that she is dead, and let's use that here, but then we'll reveal that she's actually alive.
Yeah.
But then her speech to the survivor and rallying them together, and then it also convinces Coin that she is a threat.
Yeah.
And if this keeps going, she will lose her hold on power, everything she's fought for. For her to do all of that and then look at Peeta and be like, we're two peas in a pod here. We're both equal contributors to this new world we've created. And
what it boils down to, it's just Peeta for her is the guy who gave her bread when she was hungry. He is kind and reliable.
And for the record, she forgot about it for a while.
Yeah,
Like she remembers it later on, I think,
it's
in the
true.
first movie.
Yeah.
No, does she have a flashback right as he's selected for the Hunger Games? I can't remember. I think there was like a brief flash of a scene.
It's like after they're well into the whole affair.
Yeah.
I guess for PETA, they understand one another. There's a mutual understanding, and so they've both existed in these high stakes circumstances that no one else can relate to, that no one else can understand. So there's this mutual interdependency, this mutual friendship. It just
It's disappointing. It's disappointing.
it bothers me. It
Yeah,
bothers
I
me.
agree.
I can't say that it's bad writing. I can't say that it's out of character. It just bothers me.
And here's the
it's
thing.
it's effective. She's an incredible storyteller. It's so well done. All of it. It's all well done. Not saying it's bad. But what I am saying is it's like, man, this is not how I wanted this to go.
And here's the thing. I've been talking about this ever since we decided we were going to talk about these movies.
Yeah.
These last two are my favorite.
Yeah.
They are my favorite.
Oh, I can see that.
And like I've said, it's not because of why everyone else likes these movies for that reason, like with the characters, for Katniss, for PETA, even for Gale. It's just a mess. Katniss does some really incredible things in this movie.
Yes.
And I think it's one of, most of it is some of her best stuff.
Yeah.
But the stuff with PETA and Gale is just bad. It's the way the whole thing shakes out. It just feels unresolved, and
it's not my favorite.
It's just not satisfying. But I love how the rebellion moves forward and the politics of how a regime crumbles, and then you think it's over, and it's not.
Yeah.
And then they throw one more curveball at you. What did you think about that? I have been dying to know.
So good.
Okay. I'm glad you liked it.
I liked it a lot.
Yes.
I think one of the things. I think that the story, it takes a very specific stance. So like oftentimes in these stories, there's not a significant reason for things to go differently moving forward. Right? Like that's something I really dislike about the Star Wars films. It's like, oh, they reestablished the Republic. And it's exactly the same. And it has the same incentives and the same structural defects, and they haven't fixed or addressed any of the major issues, and they end up with the Empire again, and they end up with the Resistance again, and it's just like, really? Like why are we doing all of this legwork to end up at the same place? One thing that the Hunger Games does very effectively is it shows that Coin, she's opportunistic, she's self-important. She sincerely believes that she can lead Panem to like a better future, but that she's the only one who can, and that everyone else has to fall in line. She gives token voting powers to the other Hunger Games winners, but she's fairly confident that with most significant decisions, she will make them unilaterally. She appeals to them as a means of legitimacy, not as a means of actual collective governance.
Yeah, she needs
or
the
accountability.
victors. She needs the victors to
be
behind her.
And so you see the rise of dictatorial tendencies in her, and it's so well done.
Oh yeah.
Because it's the culmination of Katniss's relationship with Snow. She really believes Snow wouldn't lie to her. The scene of them in like the greenhouse is very interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
Where they go over, what happened, why they won, Snow's feelings about losing, his hopes for the future. It's really well written for a villain. They have this dynamic of clashing, of understanding one another, of understanding what the games are for, of understanding how to work a mob, how to run a society. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors for the cameras. Her decision to kill Coin instead of Snow, brilliant.
Yeah.
So well done. I like it on multiple levels because on the one hand, it establishes a very clear rule moving forward for the world and the political sphere, which is a zero tolerance policy on authoritarianism.
For tyrants, yeah.
No tyrants. No temporary tyrants. No temporary emergency powers. No temporary suspension of elections. It is only electoral politics moving forward. So it's just a zero tolerance policy for any kind of dictatorial tendencies in the political sphere. That's a thesis. It's like, oh, that's why things are going to be different moving forward. You know, so many stories. It's like, oh, we felled the Empire, we killed Voldemort. It's like, well, what's to stop somebody from doing this again?
Well, and they
Yeah.
were in danger of falling into that trope because they had a rebellion 75 years before,
Yeah.
and it didn't work. And this this movie's an explanation of why this one is going to work.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it does that well in
Yeah.
a way that other movies don't.
Well, and the other thing I like about it is that then Snow is lynched by the mob.
Yes, the people.
And so it's a 1-2 punch of killing Coin and handing Snow over to the people. Katniss is returning the agency to the population itself.
Well, and
it's so well done.
I could be making this up. I probably am making this up. But whenever she has her bow drawn on Snow, it looks like she smirks a little bit. It looks like, because but it was so interesting. At least if I'm manifesting this, I am sorry. But whenever they make eye contact.
Yeah.
And they're looking at each other for an extended period of time.
It's so good.
And it's like, it looked like she smirked at him, almost like they both know what's about to happen here.
Yeah.
And it's so weird my eyes could have been tricking me, but if that's the case, it's such a awesome bonding moment between the two where they just throughout it, like Snow and acts like they are alike. Yeah. They have a special relationship. They don't lie to each other. And it's just such a good scene where it's like the last moment they share is like, we both know what's about to happen here.
It's so good.
It's such a good, it's the best scene of the franchise. I feel like either that or the gardens. But her and Snow is just peak.
It elevates the whole series.
Yes.
It takes itself very seriously. And it's a preventative step, like in Harry Potter, there's nothing stopping another evil wizard from arising. There's nothing stopping an evil empire from arising again. In this, it's like, it's going to be really hard to slip back into authoritarianism. You can't imagine another regime doing the Hunger Games again. You just can't.
No. That's not in this generation.
Over. Not in this generation, not in the next. The legacy, the story, the cultural norms that are established, you get the sense that they're going to last. And it's incredibly effective and impactful. It really elevates the story above its contemporaries, I feel, because it finally has an answer to what prevents this from happening again in 30 years.
Yeah, it definitely feels like end of World War II type of March to Berlin feel.
Yeah,
the capital's last stand. It literally goes block by block.
Yeah,
urban warfare, and he calls it the 76 Hunger Games. And he has all the traps. They do the video PA announcements of the tributes, their deaths.
Yeah.
So, and and Katniss does a lot of political maneuvering as well.
Yeah.
Originally, she's not going to go to the Capitol because Coin doesn't want her there after the assassination attempt. Ostensibly to keep her safe, but that's not why. And then she sneaks aboard a hovercraft, and then she reveals herself, and they can't pull her at that point. So then Coin responds by sending PETA. And so there's all these chess moves happening.
Yes.
And then you have Finnick. He has a heroic moment. That was it felt weird because it was out of character for Finnick because he's panicking at the end. It wasn't like this like savior, this John Krasinski moment in A Quiet Place,
right.
Where he's stoic or anything like that. But it was very raw. It was a raw moment.
Finnick's death, that whole sequence, it was nice to see the return of like the mutations and to see them employed in the Capitol.
Yeah,
which was something I'd really wanted to see going into this. How is the Capitol going to use its technological superiority, its genetic modifications? How's it going to use them? Finnick's death was horrific.
Yes.
Especially because like the content of Finnick's backstory.
He just got married, like.
Yeah, well, and he'd given the speech of like Snow will pimp out victors of the Hunger Games to rich people in the capital. He'd just gotten married, and for him to be torn apart by like these grotesque humanoids, just limb from limb, like it's physical, it's tangible, it's dude, it was awful,
Well,
awful.
and they
It is the
can't.
worst character death in terms of like, not in terms of writing or anything like that, but just like, my goodness, this is horrifying for this character. It it was the worst death in the entire series for me.
Yeah.
It left me sick. I felt horrified watching Finnick die.
Yeah, and they don't have time to process it.
It was brutal.
They leave, and
Just a character whose entire life was taken from him from the capital. You know, Snow. It really deserves to be beaten to death.
mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, it's there's still so much to talk about. I was like, we're getting close to the end of the movie. We talked about the end of the movie. What do you think about? There's a scene where Snow's giving a PSA, and then Coin comes on instead, and this stuck in my mind. Coin refers to Snow as your president, not our president.
Yeah.
Snow decides to correct her whenever she says picked. He corrects her and says plucked.
Yeah.
And it's Snow's outlook on this whole thing is very much like Hitler. He has a moment where he's slouched over a desk, and the attendant has to come and ask him if he wants to see a doctor because he has a bloody handkerchief.
Yeah.
While they're invading the capital, much like Hitler wasn't awoke. No one woke up Hitler whenever they landed on Normandy on D-Day.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of that happening, and I think it's really good, especially with hindsight, seeing Coin replace Snow, and it's essentially like they're one and the same.
Yeah.
I think that was really effective too.
Oh yeah. It was well done.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they have to tie up a lot of loose ends.
Yeah.
There's also a really funny scene where Peeta and Gale talk to each other. I gotta find the notes.
It was a bummer.
They talk about her. They talk. Oh, dude, we gotta go through it. So, Gale tells Peeta that he should have volunteered to take Peeta's place in the first games. First of all, why didn't Gale do that? Absolutely could have.
It's true.
But he felt like he's supposed to take care of her family. Whatever.
Well, okay, to be fair, Katniss is picked first. Gale knows going into it, only one person survives. So, the best he can hope for is that she somehow wins, and he's also alive. Like, he doesn't have a schema for, I'm going to volunteer as tribute, and we're both going to get out of this alive.
I mean, he goes in to protect Katniss and help ensure she wins.
Which, for him, guarantees he dies.
You're right. I'm saying it's a selfless act, is what I'm saying. Correct. Just like she did.
Yeah. He doesn't have that level of selflessness.
Oh,
he should have. He should have.
Well,
but he didn't.
If his calculus is they had a conversation and Katniss said, and they allude to it, if I'm selected, you have to protect my family.
Yes.
And that's her last wish to him.
So he could view it as a betrayal. The most realistic scenario is that they both go in and they both die.
Oh, okay. Peeta says he couldn't because Katniss needed him to take care of her family, and he did. So
Gale, he held his
1 point for
the
Peeta.
Promise. Well, and there's like one winner from District 12. It's Haymitch. And that's it.
Right. It's not likely, but it would only be him, like, literally taking all the arrows, just barreling through to the very end and then killing himself, probably.
Yeah, and it's just, the chances of him winning, they're so astronomically small that it really was the best move to stay back.
Yeah, and take care of him.
It does suck.
Because she's the
It's bad calculus. I mean, it's not good. But it does make sense what his logic was.
Yes.
And he was fulfilling a promise that he had made to her in advance.
Yeah, and that's a fair point by Peeta. And he also says that she can't lose Gale and that she really loves him. And Gale responds, and these are quotes now. Gale responds with, and the way she kissed you in the Quarter Quell, she's never kissed me like that. Okay, so let's have a conversation, Gale. Can we have a conversation for just a second? Every time she kisses you, you whine and complain.
Yeah.
So why in the world would you expect her to kiss you more or any differently?
Okay. defend Gale a little bit here. It would kind of suck for your girlfriend to kiss someone else repeatedly
For the cameras.
at an event that is mandatory viewing for the entire country.
I understand, but it's for it's.
I think all
it's
things
for the
considered,
cameras.
I think he handled that pretty decently.
He
doesn't throw a gigantic fit about it.
It's fine.
Doesn't throw a fit.
It's fine, but he does throw a fit twice.
No, he doesn't.
He does. She kisses him. He throws a fit. She kisses him.
Throws a fit.
He throws a fit.
He tells her, "You're not in a good enough place for this." It's considering where she's at mentally and emotionally. He does not make it about himself.
He does make it about himself.
No,
he does. She's never kissed me like that. Shut up, bro.
He's talking to PETA.
Yeah, I understand that.
He's not throwing a fit.
He is throwing a
No.
fit. She's never kissed me like that. PETA says, "Oh,
True.
it's just part of the show." Gale says, "No, you won her over. You give up everything for her." Well, it's not going to be an issue much longer. I doubt all three of us are going to make it out of this, and if we do, then it's her problem to choose, right? I don't know that Katniss would pick whoever she... I do know that Katniss would pick whoever she can't survive without.
Such a...
So...
No.
I just feel like...
That drives me crazy.
You can't have it both ways. Either Katniss is mistaken in her love for PETA, and you genuinely believe that you're the right person. And if so, then you can be patient and just say, "Hey, look, you're not in the right headspace right now." The way that Gale criticizes her for kissing him makes it about him. He's not focused on, "You're not in the right headspace for this.
Yeah.
You should be focused on the mission ahead." He's just like, it's like kissing a drunk person. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. You don't really mean that. You don't really mean that. And I'm gonna go cry now. No, if he had been like, "I'm concerned about you. This is not the time or place for this. I'm here for you.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna help you walk through this. You're going through a lot right now."
Yeah.
Then and not complain to PETA behind, even though she's clearly laying right over there. She could be awake. You have no clue.
Yeah.
Whatever. He thought it was private conversation. And then whine to her actual boyfriend or her ex, whatever you want to think, that, "Oh, yeah, she's never kissed me like that." What are you guys, two jocks in a locker room? Like, what are we talking about? I'm just saying, like, it's pitiful the way that he reacts to her kissing him. But it's still not nearly as pitiful as who PETA is as a person.
I think his conversation with Katniss isn't pitiful. I get where he's coming from. His conversation with PETA...
It's self-centered, though.
I think his conversation with Katniss isn't. Because she kisses him. And it's only then that he's like, well... And that's fair. That's fair to walk it back
It's
at
manipulation.
that point.
He whines and complains that she's in love with
manipulation for what? He doesn't get anything out of it.
He's like, "Oh, you don't love me." And then she kisses him.
She probably doesn't.
And then she kisses him. And then he's just like, "Oh, well, now that you've actually shown that you do have feelings for me, I'm going to immediately walk it back and complain about it." If he was like, "Man, I'm just processing a lot," and she was kissing him, he's like, "Whoa, no.
Okay, but
we're not doing this right now."
What that misses is that kiss, it's a revelation. Kissing him, he notices in the moment that it's different than how she kisses PETA for the cameras. It's a revelation.
For the cameras!
It's a revelation. It's a difference for him. And in that moment, he realizes that he's not viewed the same as PETA is. And so it's something he realizes that he would not have realized before. So I think walking it back after the kiss makes sense.
But why would you do it twice?
He's doing it in
one
light
time.
Of new information.
It's not new information, though. She does it in the third film.
Yeah.
And then he complains in the house.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what he says, but he complains. But and then on the hovercraft, the same thing happens.
I'm gonna defend the hovercraft.
He acts like
his conversation with PETA is less defensible. It's more whining.
It's whining.
Yeah, that one's whining.
But he acts.
I don't think the hovercraft one is necessarily.
Poor me. And then she kisses him, and he's like, "Oh, I can't believe you did that."
No, I think it's a little different than that.
And then he starts suggesting more crimes.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh no, this is awful. This is not going well."
Yeah, I don't. It's just a crummy move. I think it's a crummy move.
Gale, he was at his worst in this movie.
I agree. And we can agree on that. We can agree on that.
Yeah.
It's just a crummy move to say that you are so much better than PETA because you care so much about Katniss.
Yeah.
And then immediately every interaction about your guys' romance you make about yourself. It's just a crummy move. It's just a crummy, and then he keeps emphasizing she's never kissed me like that.
He was a lot worse in this film than he has been in any of the other films.
I agree.
By leaps and bounds, he was at his worst. He put his best foot forward in all the other ones. He ends Mockingjay Part 1 on his highest possible note. And then everything he does in this film is just sticking his foot in his mouth and committing more crimes and tripping over himself. It was rough. It was rough to watch.
It was rough. It was rough. It was rough.
One thing, so this pivots a little bit from stuff we've discussed previously. One thing I had an issue with was she kills Coin.
Mm-hmm.
She's taken away.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens? Then she meets up with Haymitch.
Yep.
Haymitch comes into the room.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, they're going to have an emotional moment. They're going to have an emotional discussion, a heart-to-heart. He's going to say something along the lines of, you're courageous, you've ended the Hunger Games, you've brought democracy to this society, you're a good person, and I'm proud of you. Nope. He doesn't say that at all. What he does is he reaches into his pocket, and he goes, yeah, Plutarch wrote a long note that he wants me to read out to you in person.
You know why?
Why?
You know why they did that?
Why?
Because Philip Seymour Hoffman died.
Really?
Yes.
That's actually what happened.
That's what happened. Yeah. So
really?
he was alive for some of the beginning scenes of the movie. And then he just goes away. And at the end of the movie, they edited him in the scene where she dies. He just is edited in like walking away with a straight face.
Okay. This is the first I'm hearing this.
I thought you knew this.
No.
Yeah, he died.
What?
He died halfway. So they wrote a letter, which is why for me, one of the best scenes between...
That's different.
Yes.
That changes things.
Yes.
That changes things for me.
There you go.
That makes a lot more sense, and I'm going to walk that back really fast. Because I did not realize that was the case.
No, it's sad. I think it may have been an overdose or something. I can't remember.
He's in the scene where she kills Coin.
Yes.
He's in that scene.
Yes. They edited him in. But notice how he doesn't say anything. He doesn't do anything.
That's
like, and they give a pretty, now that you know that, like in retrospect, they give a pretty good reason. Like he can't be seen with her.
Yeah.
Because of, the moving parts.
Okay. So then in the book, is it Plutarch who comes and talks to her in the book?
I think it's Haymitch. I don't know. I don't know.
Dang.
But they had to, resolve Plutarch somehow.
I did not realize that.
Yeah.
That changes my analysis of it considerably.
See, for me, one of the best scenes between Haymitch and Katniss is whenever they're at the round table and Katniss says, I get to kill Snow if we do this. And she agrees to the Hunger Games. Yeah. And Haymitch just has to trust her. She gives him a look and he's like, let's do it. Yeah. And since they're not very their relationship has never been very emotional. No. She's like broken down in his arms. But they've never had an emotional type of interaction. Yeah. So that moment of mutual respect of I'm trusting you with not just this isn't us two. This is the future of this nation. Yeah. Because if we institute the Hunger Games, that's going to take us down a bad path. Yeah. I'm going to trust you. And it works out. So yeah, I didn't realize you didn't know that.
No, I had no idea.
I will say, it's sad.
For the scene, I'm interested in how it is in the books. I'd be very interested in knowing who she has that conversation with. I still think you can have Haymitch come in and deliver the note from Plutarch. I don't think Haymitch gives a lot of himself in that meeting. I think having kind of a handoff there, kind of some sort of emotional finale to their relationship, that I think is still essential to the scene, even if he's bringing the note. Even if there's a way that it makes sense why Plutarch is not there and not giving the note, I think Haymitch still, once he's in the scene, he has to... That is his last scene with Katniss. Yes. Still. I think that...
They go into their respective houses, but...
I did not know that the actor had passed away.
Well, and they rushed the ending because...
That makes sense.
Commander Paler, who becomes the president...
Yes.
And Haymitch talk to her, and they have a whole trial for her. In this movie, they just send her home. They just quietly send her away. Yeah. She's acquitted on the basis of insanity.
Okay.
I think.
Interesting.
And and that sounds right.
Huh. Okay.
So I mean, obviously they had to shrink it down, even though they took the last book and put it in 2 movies.
Yeah.
You still have to shrink down some of it in order to
Hmm.
have the pacing work.
I think Haymitch's last scene with Katniss, it needs to be the end of their relationship, or it needs to have like there needs to be some kind of, like you were saying, a mutual respect, mutual recognition. I think just having him be messengers for other people, it is a missed opportunity
hmm
because
But they had to
Haymitch is
force it
there.
somewhere. They had to
Yeah.
force because Plutarch
Well,
does have a more prominent role, and now
and
that the new government's in
yeah,
place, you're wondering what is
yeah,
Plutarch going to do?
yeah.
He's the propaganda master.
I think knowing that it is more impactful.
Yeah.
It is well done in that sense.
And you think about the actors too, like having to deliver that
Yeah,
scene, like there's more emotion there than there otherwise would be.
but Haymitch and Katniss have had a relationship for a full book
Yep. Yep.
longer than Katniss and Plutarch, and so I think it's not unreasonable to assume that there would be some additional connection, some additional respect, some additional um, information or relationship dynamics that are displayed there. I still think that that is a bit of a missed opportunity. I feel like it makes sense that Haymitch gets a prequel. Absolutely.
hmm
I never felt like he was utilized to the fullest potential
There's always more that
in
they could have done.
any of these films.
Yeah.
At no point did he have a scene and I was like, this is the essential Haymitch scene. He was always a wonderful character. There was always a lot of depth to him that wasn't explored. I think I was disappointed that he didn't get more.
In the book, I think you would really like the books. I think
Okay.
inherently there's just more of him in there.
Yeah.
I really want to reread these now, having rewatched the movies, because there's way more context. There's way more content. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I think that it's controversial, but these last two just
Yeah.
they're the reason why I like the Hunger Games. I like it for completely different reasons than other people do. I
They're
could care less
really
about the
good.
love triangle.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
could care less because the other stuff is so much more interesting to me that it's not executed very well. Her ending up with PETA is just the wrong move, and
Yeah.
it's
not my favorite. I don't
no.
like that. I don't like the underutilization of Haymitch. I do think in terms of the central story, Katniss's arc, it comes full circle with her sister. It
Yes.
comes full circle with why she's a rebel, what she believes in.
Yeah, her sister
The main
dies
arc.
for not dies
Yeah.
for her, but she dies even though Katniss tried to save her, and so she has to live with that. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah, and the scene where Katniss is yelling at Prim's cat in the house, I thought was very impactful.
yeah,
There's a lot of scenes of Katniss having PTSD. That was a good scene displaying just her grief.
well, yeah, there's an extended resolution
Yeah.
at the end, almost Lord of the Rings esque, where the action stopped a while ago.
Yes.
But her and PETA share scenes, and even before then, like you said, she's yelling at the cat, she's wrestling with stuff. And even after
Yeah.
PETA's there, they have a few scenes together before they finally end the movie.
And I do understand why the film ends in the way that it does. It is a beautiful ending to have the characters who have gone through the most find a happy, peaceful life
Mhm.
together.
Mhm.
That is a beautiful ending. I'm a little frustrated by the specifics, but generally, I think it's a beautiful ending for these characters.
Yes.
It's hard to complain about the journey getting there.
Yeah. And the fact that she
Um,
didn't choose power, she never
Yeah.
wanted it. She stayed consistent the whole time. She never wanted to be involved.
Yeah.
And as soon as she didn't have to be, she walked away.
Yeah.
So and her killing Coin was a selfless act
Yes.
for the nation. She could have killed Snow.
Yeah.
And she would have been justified in doing so.
For sure.
But yeah, it was a massive risk. So
Yeah.
yeah, is there anything else we want to talk about for all of these films? What would be your ranking of these movies if you had to rank all four in a row,
Okay.
1 through 4?
That's a tough one. Maybe from lowest to highest.
Sure.
Probably Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 1, Catching Fire, Mockingjay Part 2.
I think that's reasonable.
And none of them are bad.
Yeah, no. I think
None
that's
of them
I
are
think
bad.
that's the exact same order.
Okay.
I think that's yeah. And it's not that it's kind of like Avatar, weirdly enough, where the Hunger Games just exposes you to the world
Yeah.
and the characters, and the good sequels, they're just richer
Yeah.
than the originals because they're
Oh,
building
yeah.
off of it, so the emotions are higher and the stakes are higher, and the world and the conflicts are higher and bigger. So it's just by nature of good sequels,
Yeah.
they're just going to be better. Whereas bad sequels, like most of the time, sequels are worse because they're not as good as the original. But in this case, they just kept getting better for me personally.
Absolutely.
If you care about the love triangle, you're not gonna think
I was
that's the
bummed out.
case.
I was bummed out.
Yeah,
I was frustrated with the specifics of it. They end up in a place that I think makes a lot of sense, but man, it was rough getting there.
justice for Gale, man. Justice for Gale.
Justice for Gale.
I think he needs a fair trial where all the evidence is brought before, and everyone realizes he didn't commit a war crime.
Yeah,
He didn't. He may have killed like a
you
civilian at
still
one point.
suggested a war
He
crime.
suggested it. He did. He did.
That
But what
should get you on
did
a
he
list.
know, and when did he know it? You know what I mean?
He recommended a double tap.
I
Shouldn't
look,
do it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. The controversial.
It's rough.
All right, that's the end of the Hunger Games. We'll
Yeah.
probably circle back at some point if we read the books. As the new movies come out, we'll talk about those. Leave suggestions in the comments for any sort of media you want us to cover.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.